Hello, Seiiti Arata. If you really please those who should actually become your customers, then eventually you will displease those who should not become your customers. This is a message for those who are an entrepreneur, a service provider, or someone who has to serve customers in any way. Deep down, you want to please everybody. In a world of fantasies and dreams, you would love to serve everyone with the best quality possible. But the problem is that people who want to please everyone please no one. It is impossible to serve all the different customer profiles with maximum quality. Different types of customers have different preferences and needs, and these differences are often incompatible. There are people who will never tell you that you managed to please them because they're going through problems in their lives. It has nothing to do with you. And if you're struggling to please them, you only wear yourself out and you're going to be wasting your time, you're going to be wasting your energy. It is impossible to please everyone. And wanting to do the impossible is a guaranteed source of frustration for you and for your clients. You need to focus. That is the reason why you need to learn to say no to some customers instead of trying to serve everyone perfectly. So then you can prioritize the type of customers that you really want to attract. With this relatively simple strategy, you can increase the quality of your service, improve your job satisfaction, and also reduce your costs regarding marketing, customer acquisition, and service. Identify your values to choose your ideal customer profile. It is impossible to serve everyone with excellence. Each client has a different profile, and if you keep trying to please everyone, you will end up not pleasing anyone. To avoid this, you need to identify your values and then choose an ideal customer profile that is based on that knowledge. And to be clear, you can also do the opposite. You can ask yourself, what customer characteristics are not in the profile that your company seeks to serve? It is quite simple. Identify what the ideal profile is and identify who is outside of the profile. And those two definitions can take a business to the next level. That is how you stop wasting your time and energy on clients who do not have the desired profile. At the same time, you'll be better able to deliver services with more quality to the clients who fit their profile. And these clients will be so satisfied with the quality of your work that they will start recommending you to other people also with the same profile. This becomes a snowball, a virtuous cycle. Every time you serve a customer with the profile that you have already outlined very well, this well-served customer recommends your business to other customers with the same profile. This effect reduces your prospecting costs and also makes you happier with your company, and you become better able to serve new clients even better. Some motivational coaching influencers often say, fire your customer. Well, the idea of firing your customer is an expression that kind of conveys the same concept of you not wasting your time on your resources on clients who are out of the profile. The problem about this idea of firing your customer is that this advice has a focus on the customers that you do not want. Instead of that, a more useful strategy is to focus on the customers that you do want. So instead of thinking about dismissing your bad customers, it is much better to think about prioritizing your ideal customers. And you can do this simply by making it clear which profile you want to serve well. Make it clear to yourself, to your team, and also to the public in a way that you present your business. If you have a new business, you can do this by identifying what your personal values are and what the values of the company that you work for are. And if you already have a portfolio of customers, you can analyze which are the good customers and you can identify what are the common grounds that makes them good customers to you. The good customer is the one that values the unique value proposition that you have. So what is this good customer? A good customer isn't just the one who pays more money, although of course financial aspect is also very important. For example, imagine a customer that pays a lot of money, much more than the rest, but is very rude and offends your employees, demoralizing your team. Despite bringing money into the company, this customer doesn't have a good profile if you care about the value of mutual respect. Above all, a good client is the one who shares the same values as you. They value what your company does, what your company values. So to make it all very clear, I'll share with you an example. I remember this restaurant I used to go for several years. Their sushi was very good. Until one day, I paid a new visit, and instead of ordering individual sushi, the restaurant changed to this eat as much as you can system. And I thought it was terrible because the quality of the rice had changed. And then I talked to the owner of the restaurant, and then he said that his customers don't care. They don't even notice the difference between the different types of rice. So, above all, the customers that he serves want low prices and they want to eat a lot. And one of the ways that he offers those low prices is by changing the type of rice, using a grain of rice that people who know sushi consider a worse quality rice. But his target customers don't even notice that the rice had changed. There are people in the world who think rice is all the same. In other words, this restaurant had chosen to cater to a type of customer that doesn't know how to value rice. They value having low prices and a lot of quantities of food. Now, there is another restaurant that I have also known for many years, and they continue to offer excellent sushi, and it is more expensive. The higher price is not due to luxury, it's simply what the product is worth. The owner doesn't do this all-you-can-eat sushi dinner. He will never do that in his restaurant because he refuses to make the product worse by to try to offer lower prices. His mission is to offer a well-prepared sushi with the same quality as decades of tradition. And in this more expensive restaurant, the customers know how to recognize and appreciate when the rice is of better quality. Both restaurants are thriving financially. They're doing really well. The mistake would be for the cheap restaurant to try to use expensive rice. This would force the restaurant to raise prices, and then their customers would start complaining, even without being able to recognize the quality, the difference of the quality of the rice. Another mistake would be for the expensive restaurant to use cheap rice and offer discounts because immediately their loyal customers would leave. They would be complaining about the worsening of the product. Now, of course, this example of the rice quality here is just a metaphor to make it easy for you to understand the idea of staying focused on pleasing the customer who for you has the ideal profile. Now, think about your business. What are the aspects of your product or service that your customers value and recognize? What are the aspects and values that you value, that your business values, and that you don't want to sacrifice to serve people who are outside of the profile? Even if you say that you don't have any good clients, you can also do the opposite. You can analyze your bad customers, the customers who value things that you disagree with. So see what are the common points that make you consider that they are bad customers. And from there, you can look for the opposite of these negative points, and you can draw the ideal profile for your customers. And the main tip here is the following. Whenever people show up in a demanding way, requesting something different from what was previously agreed or what you want to offer, just say no to them in a respectful but assertive way, just like we teach you in the How to Say No course, which you can see more about in arata.se/how to say no. You have to explain to them this is not the proposal of your service. Then you can continue serving your ideal customers well without creating exceptions by trying to please everyone. And with that, the auto-profile customers will realize by themselves that it's best to go somewhere else. Your focus shouldn't be to fire customers who don't fit your ideal profile. Your focus should be to serve your customers that do fit your ideal profile in the best way you can. Now, maybe you're afraid right now. It is normal to be afraid of disappointing some customers. But this is a part of the process in pleasing the right customers. You just need to learn how to please the customers who fit the ideal profile and who know how to appreciate your unique value proposition. I'll tell you now in detail how I do all of this every day so you can learn that this is a choice that allows you to realize your full potential to serve your customers well. There is no use just identifying the ideal customer. It is your practical attitudes that define the customers that you want to attract. Everything that I'm sharing here with you is based on what I do on a daily basis. These are not just theories that I read about from some book. No, they're working principles that have functioned very well for me for over a decade. Arata Academy started serving customers in 2007, and since then the value that guides our work is to serve well the customers that genuinely want to improve themselves. In other words, our unique value proposition is focusing on results and transformation. And to be clearer, it is also worth thinking about the opposite. What does Arata Academy not want? Well, I don't want to pretend to teach. I don't want you to pretend you learned. So I don't want to sell certificates. I don't want to sell videos without real practical transformation, some improvement in your life. Once the vision and the values are defined, then we can create the strategy. How does a transformation happen? Well, we need to make sure that the main ideas of the course have been already very well understood. Because in any good face-to-face school, there are oral exams, there are seminars. So they are very important in a pedagogical aspect for the learner to demonstrate understanding. And if something has been misunderstood, then this is the moment when the teachers will point out what needs to be revised. However, there is an obstacle to do that in online courses. It is impossible for me to schedule one-to-one calls with every single student to do this type of oral exam. That is why practically, when you look out there, all online courses that exist, they only do multiple choice exams because these can be automated. Well, there are some courses that don't even have any type of exam at all. But the multiple choice exam is very limited because it's very easy for a student who doesn't really understand the subject to be cheating the system and just answer randomly until they manage to pass the exam. So how does Arata Academy offer a differential by certifying that our client is actually making progress and transformations? Instead of just giving them multiple choice tests, there are also written exams and also selfie videos, which is the equivalent of a seminar and expository content. So these videos make it very clear whether true learning has been achieved, and sometimes it indicates if the student has misunderstood something and needs to revise an important part of the course of the training. Now, this whole example here was just to tell you that the results are impressive. This methodology captivates the customers who are aligned with our values of true transformation, skill acquisition, practical benefits. You see, the client who really wants results, they are willing to complete helpful activities and above all to receive feedback that indicates whether or not this person is going in the right direction and also how to improve even more. On the other hand, this exam requirement also helps us to identify and dismiss the clients who are not aligned with our values. Because there are clients, students who will make mistakes and they refuse to correct their mistakes. There are students who simply say that they don't want to do activities. They don't want to record videos. This is the moment where actions will speak louder than words. So you see, it would be wrong for me to tell you this whole story about how Arata Academy is focused on results and transformation, and at the same time make an exception to the first student who says that they're feeling too lazy to do activities or make some excuse saying, oh, their phone camera is broken. It is difficult to maintain assertiveness, but these are times when action is what confirms whether you are coherent with your values or not. And in acting consistently, something very interesting happens. You remember that sushi restaurant that refuses to lower the quality of the rice because it goes against the mission of offering some traditional, legitimate sushi. So by continuing to use a higher quality sushi, only the customers who know how to appreciate the quality of that well-made sushi will stick around. And now the customers who value the all-you-can-eat model and who don't know how to appreciate, how to differentiate the different types of rice, or who don't value this detail, they will leave. Those who appreciate that differential will end up staying. So when we reject incomplete, wrong, badly done activities and tasks, the clients who really want to learn, to transform themselves, to get results, they stay around. They appreciate the fact that there is a careful manual review of the activities. And all of those who just wanted to binge watch videos, to eat some popcorn without moving a finger, without doing activities, the people who are just looking for a certificate, they leave. Gone are the arrogant people who think that they already know everything, they don't need to do activities. The good news is that by putting words into action, it drives away exactly the type of clients that we do not want. And at the same time, it helps to attract and keep the customers that we want to have. But now calm down. You may still be at a stage in your business where you need to have all the customers you can so you don't close your doors. You've got to understand the stage your business is so you know when you cannot turn away customers. There is another risk involved in the idea of firing customers, which is the stages of your business, where you can't simply refuse customers because by doing that, it would be the end of your business. If you draw an ideal client profile and you never manage to attract that profile, your company will simply not have clients and go bankrupt. Imagine a company that is out of cash, owing money to suppliers and employees. Then a great client appears with a great project that would momentarily solve all these cash flow problems. But this client doesn't have the profile of your ideal client. In fact, he's the exact opposite. So what are you going to do? Are you going to say no? Will your company dismiss this client just to stay true to the profile that you outlined? If you do that, you probably will have to close the doors. If you don't, you have to serve a bad client just to get some financial results, so later you can search for better clients. You see, in business, you need strategy and intelligence. You need to go beyond the cliche motivational coaching speeches. You need to know if you need to make an exception in a moment in the history of a company. And at the same time, you need to be careful that this exception doesn't become the rule and you end up accepting bad clients all the time just to pay your bills. It is a delicate balance, and this is all part of the challenges for anyone who has to provide services. There is no magical world where everything is perfect. You only get the amazing clients that you desire, only executing wonderful projects that always make you happy. Pursuing that utopia would be impossible, like trying to please everyone. So, be strategic. Define your ideal type of client, try to attract that type of client, and learn to say no to the demands that are outside of your true mission. And when that strategy works, great. If it doesn't, remember that you can be flexible so you can receive some clients that are outside of your profile just to keep your business alive for a while. It is impossible to please everyone. If you keep trying to do that, you only frustrate yourself, your team, and your clients. Instead, outline your ideal customer profile and learn to say no to exceptions. At the same time, use some smart strategies so you can be flexible whenever you need to. And if you have difficulty communicating in an assertive, firm, and polite manner, I invite you to take a special class right now by visiting our How to Say No course by visiting arata.se/How to Say No.